and gentlemen, you know what time it is. Taco Homies in the house.
That's right.
Dustin Plates. Mango Asan. And we are on. How y'all been?
We got our first dislike.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yes.
And I wanted to applaud that.
Exactly.
It's kind of a big deal for us. Like when I first heard about it, it's kind of like, hey, you guys got your first dislike. Look, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm like, no. Like, it's actually a good thing. We want people, if you're not enjoying the videos, to hit that dislike button. We're not, every YouTuber that you watch tells you hit the like button at the end of the video. We don't do that shit because we want you to be real. We want you to hit the like button if you like it. Yeah. Don't hit it if you don't like it. Leave a comment. Let us know if we're fucking up, because the video we got the dislike on was the Little Caesars review that we did last week.
Yes.
And my whole thing is like, does homie love his Little Caesars?
No, absolutely, 100%.
Or was it just a whack video? Like, that's what
was fresh off of that pizza. I'm telling you, he just ate that shit. It was like, what the fuck?
He was eating that shit while he was watching it. What's this shit?
Yeah.
This dude said, food review. Click. Let me go grab my Little Caesars pizza real quick.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Shit, he probably... BAM!
We went into that video with high hopes. We was hoping it was good. We wasn't expecting it to be bad. We go into that hoping it to be good, and then when it's bad, we're kind of like, fuck.
Yeah. I don't think it was bad. I think homie just loves fucking bacon, bullshit.
That's why we need a comment. Leave the comment. Let us know if the video was whack. If the lighting was fucked up, or if my nose was too big. Like, let us know. Like, if the camera angles or something like that. Or if you can't hear what this dude's saying because he talks with food in his mouth, like, let us know. Or let us know if you really like Little Caesars. Yeah, good for you. More power to you if that's the case.
Hey.
If you're paying $12 for that shit, and it's something you enjoy doing, good for you. Tacos. On YouTube, there's this video. There's been kind of a trend going on. There was a viral video that came out around like September, maybe August of last year, of the woman who was walking through New York City and got like 250 catcalls in like an hour. So ever since, there's been like this big movement to stop catcalling. And there's this video on YouTube. They're trying to do a legit, serious news report because they just put up a sign that says no catcalling. And it's got pictures of like people like yelling at cats. And with the word no, and it's real corny, but they're in their report, like they're grabbing random people off the street and like, hey, what do you think of this? And you got some people that are like, oh, it's disgusting, it's nasty, and some people are like, we don't know, hey, we don't understand it ourselves, we don't condone it, but we don't get it. And then the last guy that got, he went off on how he catcalls every day, 50 times a day. If he sees a girl and he thinks she looks good, he's gonna do his catcalls. It was almost semi-offensive because he legitimately was doing like a cat call, like some people would call their dog.
Right.
Like, to me, when I think of a cat call, I'm thinking like, hey girl, how you doing?
Right.
But this dude's doing it, come here, and I'm like, wow.
To me, it's all on the content of how you do it. Yeah. If you real abrasive and just a fucking asshole about it, that's one thing.
Exactly.
But, like you said, hey mama, what's going on? You looking, such and such, and hey, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is,
And I get it's kind of like a sexist thing. Like, women talk about how they don't do that to guys, but the truth of the matter is, like, if women did that to guys, it wouldn't be a problem.
Not with me, I'll tell you that.
Exactly, like, it wouldn't be a problem. Like, especially if you're a single dude, it wouldn't be an issue, I get, how some girls are in a relationship, they might not want somebody hollering at them, but at the same time, like, he ain't saying nothing other than, hey, you look good,
right.
And just leave it at that, because oftentimes, like, we know that, and we're a couple of guys, so we can't talk about it too much, but females really work hard on how they look, no matter if they're, perfect 10s or if they're at the bottom of the bottom. 99% of females work really hard on how they look, and it's kind of like, isn't that kind of what you want?
Right.
or
you have to appreciate, somebody acknowledging your beauty. You know what I mean?
It's all this is an acknowledgement. It's not like a dude is trying to fuck you. It's not like the dude is trying to have sex with you. It's not like the dude is trying to rape you.
Right.
I mean, chances are, if the dude was trying to rape you, if you're a female, and the dude is trying to rape you, he ain't talking to you at all.
Right.
So, I mean, to me, it's kind of like, hey, we're complete strangers. I think you look nice. Go on with your day. Like, that's all it is. It shouldn't be seen as a big deal. But I get that there's everything out there, people are going to find to be a big deal. To me, I'm more worried about, heroin pushers or, murders going on. To be worried about catcalls to me is kind of lame. I don't got to worry about it, but I just think it's kind of lame. But anyway, the video was kind of funny. You might find it offensive depending on your view on the thing. Check it out. Check the video out. Just look up "man cat calls during cat call report." That's the name of the video. And let us know what you think.
Weezy, what you did, boy?
Alligated. We don't know if it's a fact or not, but he's being sued by a tour bus driver for possibly cocking a gun, pointing it in the tour bus driver's face over, get this, the bus was about to run out of gas. And the bus driver said, we're going to have to make a stop to get more gas. And he said, no, take me to my hotel room.
What?
It's huge. I mean,
oh boy,
come on, Lil Wayne was just in the news last week. We talked about it a couple weeks ago about the whole dissing on Birdman stuff. They said, Lil Wayne, he's been in the news a lot, and it's not for music. Like, that's not a good sign. But it's like, what's going on, man?
I want to hear something.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I've been hearing is not what I want to hear. It's the holdovers. I don't want to hear holdovers. I want to hear, how I go with the music, man. Weezy, what's up, man? I mean, I understand the Carter situation with Birdman, and he's doing what he's doing, being what he's being, I don't know. But, something, you gotta drop something. I mean, the mixtape you just dropped, wasn't really. It sounded like some extra shit that was, sitting there, and you.
Duct tape it
Come
together.
on, man. Do something.
I wonder, and I just thought of this, I wonder if it's a publicity stunt. Like, because he's been talking about getting his new album out, and he promoted it when he was dissing on Birdman and Cash Money. So I wonder if it might be a little bit of a publicity stunt. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if the dude's really fucking up, or if he's desperate to get his shit, breaking up from Cash Money.
A lawsuit, though? Hey, something's going on, man.
Something ain't right.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
We got the Hernandez trial, which finally came to an end. I think it was last Wednesday.
Boy, oh boy.
First degree murder. He's locked up for life, no chance of parole. And that's it. That's the end of his life. Like, his life is over.
I couldn't imagine just signing a humongous contract and
I think it was like 18 mils.
Come on, man.
Playing for a good team. Like, what?
No. As much as I hate to say it, he'd be a fucking champion right now.
Yeah.
Instead of being a champion right now.
Fuck him! For real.
I
He
mean,
had to be behind bars and hear about the team that he was on winning the Super Bowl.
Just saying, man. How do you throw shit like that? I mean, this shit like that pisses me off. Like, you're in a position where people will kill for it. No pun intended. But anyway. And you fuck that up?
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of a backstory behind it. he was involved with the wrong crowd when he was a kid. You know, real hardened gangsters that, you know, erased people without a thought.
Right.
Damn.
Somebody going hard outside.
Yeah, for real. But, you know, there's this whole story of, like, there's this dude that basically paid for his way when he was in high school, gave him food, gave him clothes, you know, gave him everything, you know, gave him his expensive-ass sneakers, you know, gave him his jewelry. And the dude's basically like, yo, you owe me, you gotta kill this dude. So there's a little bit of a backstory behind it, but at the same time, it's like, if I owe you, man, let me break you off $3 or $4 million. Like, damn, like, you couldn't come up with a better solution. And here's the thing that gets me about the whole deal. So, dude was almost free. A lot of the legal people for ESPN, the legal analysis, honestly thought that this dude was walking out. And he's got another murder trial from even way back before this one that they still haven't figured out yet. So even if he got, you know, if he was proven innocent, he might have still spent some time in jail until they figured out this court case.
Right.
But basically, like, he fucked himself up. There was this whole thing about the police never knew exactly what time the murder happened. They had no way of knowing. There's no witness, you know, no nothing. Nobody knew. No documented record. They knew what day it happened on. They knew where it happened at. Mm-hmm. They knew what the murder weapon was. But they never knew what time it happened at. And of course, Aaron Hernandez, who's been locked up for over a year now, or close to a year now, he doesn't know exactly what's going on during these investigations. So basically, like, his legal team was trying to point out that, you know, he wasn't there when the murder happened. And during his testimony, he came out and said, listen, you know, at 3:30 in the morning when this guy got murdered, I was at a party somewhere else. And the police were basically like, yo, how did you know that the murder happened at 3:30 in the morning? And that's when they started realizing, okay, the dude really was there. He actually had to admit that he was there. And then the legal team focused on, okay, he was there, but he didn't commit the murder. And it got all messy. It got all junked up. And yeah, now whether he did the other stuff or not, they still don't know. Life in prison. Without any chance of getting out. No probation, no parole. Life in prison. And that's it. You know, and the world just has to move on. No more Aaron Hernandez. Like, you know, and that's it.
He just, man.
You know,
I said, man, he just took something that was this big, man, and
yeah.
Wow.
ESPN made a big story about Odin Lloyd's mom. Odin Lloyd being the guy that Aaron Hernandez murdered.
Yeah.
About his mom, because his whole family was at this trial.
Right.
And they're standing like 15 feet away from Aaron Hernandez, who's in shackles and stuff. And they basically said, we forgive you. And it was a huge moment, a huge speech. I haven't seen it on YouTube. It was on ESPN all week if you watch ESPN. But look it up, Odin Lloyd's mom giving a speech. It was beautiful. You know, basically saying, you know, you took my son away, but I forgive you for that. And that's tough for anybody to say. Especially when you're standing like, you know, 10, 15 feet away from the guy. So, yeah, you know, it's just a lot of fucking. Lil Wayne, Aaron Hernandez, everybody's fucking up. People making movies are fucking up. Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park. I wanted to talk about the NBA playoffs a little bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what teams do you think will make it to the finals? What team do you think will win? I
got a feeling Cleveland. It'll be Cleveland and for the East. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. I know Cleveland.
So
they're gonna be. Cleveland's gonna be there, man.
In the West, we got
in the Eastern Finals.
Golden State versus New Orleans. We got Dallas and Houston, San Antonio, the Clippers, Portland, and Memphis.
Game 1, the Clippers.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That was wow. Yes. Hey.
I kind of want to see him go to.
I would love it. Yeah. I would love it. I want to just see people that haven't been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Spurs fan, but I really like the way they execute.
Yeah. I mean, you can't
count them out. You know,
I've always said, for the last decade, I've been saying that the Spurs are too old, and they've done things. They made it to the Western Conference Finals a bunch of times.
Yeah.
They've won championships twice. The
So,
last 2 years, they've been to the finals. They won one and they lost one. That's like, you can't count them out. For me, I kind of picked my own little dark horses, if you will.
Who we got?
I believe like Houston might be the best team in the West. I think that once Dwight Howard is 100%, if he gets 100%, mixed with James Harden, you got Parsons on the team. Those are three dudes that can do some damage, and I think that they can make it into the West. But I don't want anybody counting out Memphis. I went through and I looked up the roster of Memphis, and I just found some key players that I wanted to mention as to the reason why I picked Memphis. Tony Allen, a decent starter, played for the Celtics, played for several teams. Vince Carter, of course, who is that OG that is looking for his first title. He's been playing forever.
He's like that heart and soul of the team.
He really is.
Really, I mean,
he really is. And now I think they got him coming off the bench, and it's like, what a hell of a player to have coming off the bench. Like,
I just hate the fact, injuries cheated him.
Yeah.
In his career, man. He's an awesome player, man.
And he's still all right. Like, he's not, getting 30 and 10, but he's, he can come off the bench and get 15.
He's playing his position.
He's doing all right.
He's doing what he's supposed to do,
Jeff Green, who's a decent starter, he was also playing for the Celtics during the big trade a while back. I think he's a decent starter. And then you got the two big dudes clogging up the middle, Mark Gasol, Zach Randolph. And my whole thing is, like, when it comes to the playoffs, when it comes to the championship in the NBA, usually the team that's got the bigger group of big guys, the better group of big guys, is usually the team that has the best chances. I'm a Lakers fan, and I've kind of lived by that motto. I mean, even when Shaq left the Lakers, they didn't do shit until Andrew Bynum and Paul Gasol came, and they had some decent big guys. Like, yeah, Kobe was leading the team, but he still had some good big guys. So I think with those two big guys, this team has an opportunity to actually, like, make some noise. And they're not the favorites by any means necessary. You got Golden State, you got Houston, you got San Antonio, the Clippers. These dudes are, on most people's list, maybe the number 5 best team in the West. And I'm looking at it, and I'm not the guy that's going to pick the number 1 seed all the time. I'm looking at it and saying, this team's really good. And when it comes to Golden State, you live by the three-pointer, you're going to die by the three-pointer. We've seen it happen 100 times. And I would love to see, for once, a team that is just such a beautifully shooting team, especially with Stephon Curry, just killing the three-pointers all the time, making them look like he ain't even trying.
I don't understand him.
I would love to see him make it to the finals, but sooner or later, he's going to have a game where he's going to miss 10 shots.
Right. But he's amazing to watch. I mean, no, the thing about him is his sense of where the basket is.
At all times.
All the time.
Yeah, he's locked in no matter what direction
he can be looking this way.
Yeah, he knows.
I've seen him on a hurry up, turn around, and, do some crazy shit.
Dude,
he's outrageous. He's a basketball player.
He's outrageous. And I'm happy to finally see the Golden State Warriors on the map.
This is what I love. All these teams that haven't done anything in years.
Yeah, 20, 30 years.
Now they're coming in,
Portland, Memphis,
think about
Clippers.
Think about all these teams that were, like, my Sixers were. Yeah. Lakers were. Knicks were. Those are like the 3 biggest teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, it's nice to see in the NBA.
I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
My team for West, like, obviously you can't count out Cleveland. They got LeBron. He's the best player in the world. You can't count him out come the playoffs.
They're gonna be in the Eastern Finals. I'll go that far.
I'm saying, don't scratch out the Washington Wizards, which I've been saying for a year.
Yeah.
And they did even better than I thought they were doing today.
They're on a
like this year. Yeah. I expected them to do well this year. I didn't expect them to do this well this year. And my whole thing is, again, you got John Wall, who to me Great point guard. Maybe top 10. I don't know. Paul Pierce, he's that team's OG. He's got a championship. I think they got him coming off the bench, and all he's got to do is come out and hit shots, and then basically do what Ray Allen was doing. But and it's another thing where he's the heart and soul of that team. You know, he motivates the guys. He talks shit about the guys. I don't know if you heard about that shit. On ESPN.
What he say?
He came out and said that John Wall and Bradley Beal are incredible players, but he doesn't think they got what it takes to be superstars.
Oh. Maybe that could be
which he also said about Rajon Rondo. So they're wondering if that's supposed to be a little spark, like if he did it on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Kicking the ass right there,
So
get that spark going.
You got those three guys, but also Drew Gooden, who's a decent starter, played everywhere. Marcin Gortat, who a lot of people don't know him that well, but to me, Marcin Gortat, he's a great starting center. If you remember the Phoenix Suns back when they had Steve Nash, the last time they made their last big push, Marcin Gortat was the team's leading block getter, team's leading rebound guy, and I think he was the second leading scorer on that team. He's a good player, and anytime you mix a really good big man with a really good point guard, to me, magic just happens.
Right.
And Nene, formerly Nene Hilario, but Nene, who to me has always been an impact player on whatever team he's on. All them years he was with Denver, helping that team get to the playoffs when all they had was Carmelo.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, Carmelo's a great player, but he's been with the Knicks and they haven't done shit. So it's kind of like. He was the anchor of that defense while Carmelo was going off getting 30 or 40 points, not playing defense. Yeah. Nene was that cat in the hole, playing defense with all them other dudes. But I'm like, you look at this team and it's like, the Wizards, like you hear the Wizards and you're like, they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, just seeing John Wall and Marcin Gortat, I just fucked his name up, and Nene. Just seeing them three, I'm like, you got a big three right there. You got two big dudes and a point guard, and there's not a lot of teams that can match that. Like, wow, they have a chance to do something. Right now, I believe Toronto's actually leading that series. I might be wrong, because I wrote everything down, but for some reason I thought the Wizards won. I don't know. I'm all messed up, but I think that they got a chance to actually do something. I mean, they're playing against Toronto. Not a team that's going to make a lot of splash in the playoffs, at least I believe. I think that they should be able to destroy them and then go on to the next team. I don't know who they'd be playing against next. But in the East, you got Brooklyn, Boston, Milwaukee. Teams that don't really...
Boston shocked me,
The fact that they made it,
yeah. Very shocking.
So I think...
Do you think Cleveland's going to sweep them?
It's a possibility. They say, nobody likes to say the word sweep in the playoffs, but it happens at least about once a year.
Yeah.
And, just 2 years ago when LeBron was with Miami Heat, they went all the way to the finals without losing to anybody, and then in the finals they lost a couple games. Mm-hmm. But, it could be a sweep. Matter of fact, as a Lakers fan, I want it to be a sweep. Our top 10 list we're going to do next week.
Are we going to do that next week?
We're going to do a top 10 video, yeah. Okay. We're going to do a top 10 list. We're going to try to do it the third week of every month. First week, bitch ass of the month. Second week, our full review. The third week, we're going to try to do a top 10. We were planning on doing one today, but we just came up with an even better top 10 idea than the one that we had before.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna need a week to kind of figure out what we're gonna do with that, because we both got to do our own little research and figure out who's gonna be or what's gonna be in that top 10. The big thing right now is the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight.
I can't wait.
We're gonna shoot the day after that, so we're gonna try to get the video up. I think the fight's on a Saturday. I'm going to try to get the video up on a Sunday, on the day after. So, that's going to be our big thing, is instead of uploading on Wednesday, we're going to upload on Sunday that week, and we're going to do, maybe we'll have some other things, depending on how the fight goes. If it's a long fight and there's a lot of stuff to talk about, we'll talk about it. If it's a real short fight and there's not a whole lot, we'll add something like we usually do. But we're gonna have a show revolving around the fight and the aftermath of that fight, because to me it's historic, and you know,
this is the big one. Man.
It's a big one. You know, to me, this is as big as
years and a better part of a decade.
Yeah,
in the making.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who aren't boxing fans who I gotta explain this to. Like, you got two dudes, one who's never lost, and one who's lost once, I think.
He got knocked the fuck out.
He did.
I mean, how do you get hit forward and then fall? It's weird how he fell, like, straight up.
But
that was ugly.
These dudes are, supposed to be the two best boxers in our generation, in this current generation.
So,
and they're finally gonna fight each other. So,
who do you want to win?
I've been rooting for Manny Pacquiao since day one.
Yes. I'm not a Floyd fan.
Yeah.
I respect the fact that he is right
47-0,
the greatest fighter.
Yeah.
I'm not taking nothing away from his
Whoever wins this match is the greatest fighter.
None of that, but just cocky as fuck. I mean, you have to be confident and shit, but something about the way you do it, I just, it drives me nuts. So,
and man, he's so zen, and he's a politician, and he's a singer, and he's a philanthropist, and it's like good versus evil, yin versus yang. Like, this has to happen.
Plus, he's selling Hennessy and shit.
That too. Like, this has to happen. And that's, and anybody that maybe wasn't rooting for Manny in the beginning, after hearing the whole beef with 50 Cent, probably is now. Hoping. I mean, I don't know if the dude can read or not. That's irrelevant. If you're the best boxer ever, and this match is gonna decide who the greatest is.
Yeah. Manny Pacquiao, please, man, please.
He said, God will deliver him to my hands. That's what Manny said on ESPN.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
He said, God will deliver him into my hands. Like, he's making it sound like he's going to do whatever the fuck he wants to with him. So.
Well, anyway, guess what? That's the show. Till next week, Dustin, Plates, Mango, Hassan. We out. I got some music to do.
Yeah.
So, y'all got to get the fuck up out of here, man.